When I first watched Arrow, the only time I'd seen Green Arrow before was in Smallville. So I deleted my original Arrow review because I was sick and it sounded terrible. I am sick now though, but yeah, I feel like I can't go through all the seasons of Arrow. It will take too long, so this video will basically just be a review of all of the seasons of Arrow. I'm gonna just genuinely give you my opinion on it. Is it good? Is it bad? What I think of the TV show Arrow. So in the beginning, I loved Arrow. At one point, it was even my favorite TV show of all time, but it went completely wrong, and Season 4 was terrible. So let's just go through what happened. Season 1 was fun, and it had a great villain, and it had a pretty simple premise. Oliver Queen was stranded on an island for 5 years with only one goal: to survive. Now he will fulfill his father's dying wish to use the list of names he left him and bring down those who are poisoning his city. To do this, he must become someone else. He must become something else. And that's the Green Arrow. It was dark, it was gritty, it was scary, it was awesome, and all of the cast, I love the cast. I love Stephen Amell, I love Felicity Smoke, I love Diggle. They were all awesome. Though Laurel and Thea could get a tiny bit annoying at times, but I didn't mind them. I liked their characters, and it wasn't that often that they were annoying. And it also had an amazing villain, the Dark Archer. Holy shit, he was awesome. And John Barrowman was freaking amazing as the Dark Archer / Malcolm Merlyn. He was just awesome as Malcolm Merlyn. And John Diggle was pretty much my favorite character. He was awesome, and I really want the actor for John Diggle to play a John Stewart Green Lantern at one point, because he's just the perfect choice. And I liked Felicity Smoke. Did you ever think you would hear that come out of my mouth? I mean, I liked her kinda, but man, I never thought I'd say that. And I was actually more interested in the stories going on than the flashbacks, because Slade Wilson was there, Shadow was there, Oliver was there. It was more interesting to me. And yes, there were some filler episodes, and yes, there was the love triangle and some CW-isms, but it was a really, really great season. And then there was Tommy dying. I loved Tommy as a character. And I really loved Quentin Lance too. He was also a good character. But back to Tommy's death. It was just so sad and so effective, and it worked, and it was really sad, and it led perfectly into Season 2. So let's talk about Season 2 now. Season 2 was much better than Season 1 in my opinion, and it had an even better villain, Slade Wilson. We had seen Slade and Oliver's friendship grow in one season. They had an entire season setting it up. So when we saw Slade return, it was awesome, and we didn't know why they hated each other when Slade returned, because we hadn't seen the full story of the flashbacks. Slade was just a great villain. I mean, he was just so awesome, and the personal connection he had with Oliver, it was just also great. And the reveal that Malcolm was actually Thea's father, it blew me away. I did not expect that. The drug Mirakuru was also really, really good, and Slade was just really strong with Mirakuru, and it was good. Roy Harper was also really, really, really awesome in this season, much more than in Season 1, and I loved Roy Harper. Sarah Lance was also a really awesome character, and when she was first introduced, she was my favorite character at that point in time. But yeah, Oliver Queen, basically, he returns from the island in the beginning. He returns from the island, and he's basically Batman. He doesn't kill anymore, which makes him Batman. The only reason in Season 1 that he wasn't Batman was because he killed. He's a billionaire who's a vigilante who doesn't kill. That's Batman. He is Batman, and, well, I don't like it when Arrow should be funny. He shouldn't be Batman. And if he isn't going to be funny, find a way to make him. He can be brooding. Just don't make him Batman. And Barry Allen was in this season. He was so likable. Like, oh my god, he was so so likable. Man, he was awesome. And they introduced the Suicide Squad, which was awesome. But sadly, they were not allowed to use the Suicide Squad in season 3 because of the movie. So Suicide Squad, you can go fuck yourself. You ruined Suicide Squad in the Arrowverse because they killed off Deathstroke. They killed off all of the characters because of that fucking movie. Suicide Squad, go fuck yourself. The movie, that is. And the Harley Quinn reference, I think that is my favorite reference of any references in the Arrowverse ever. God, I was like, holy shit, I was like jumping around and I couldn't stop. I was jumping around in my bed. I watched it on Netflix and my computer. I jumped around and I screamed and I was like, oh shit. But yeah. Suicide Squad, the movie, go fuck yourself. And John Diggle, he was a little more boring in this season. I mean, he just hanged out in the Arrow Cave all the time, never really did anything. Same with Felicity. And Felicity Smoke, I mean, the actor that plays Felicity is just man. But she began to be a little more annoying this season. I started to like her less. And the first half of the season deals with the League of Assassins, which, man, season 3, okay, we're not going to talk about season 3 this episode. We will have season 3 next episode. So, thank you for watching. This is a kind of a how Arrow went from good to bad video. I think that's what I'm going to call it. If you would like to see a part 2 of this, like the video and say in the comments I would like to see a part 2 of this.